Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to the Edea stage on the Final Fantasy VIII Vision World. Some people are having problems with this one because it's a mage only stage. You can't use physical units. It's a human weak to light and darkness. Now, just for a little bit of show off and a little bit of fun, we're going to perfect score this with only the free unit Edea and some completely naked support units. This is intended to show you the basics of the fight, and you should fill in the empty party slots with whatever you want. Some more good damage dealers are, for example, Dark Rain, Lady Shantoto, Lynx, Surge. You can use the new Quistas if you really want to. I don't recommend it, but you can if you really want to. Did I say Dark Rain? Dark Rain's a great option. You could also go off element. You know, Ayaka is amazing off element. You could use Genesis, but all we need to use is the free unit Edea and a few naked supporters. So Melissa is going to be our killer buffer and our good amplify because Edea doesn't have her own. Ibarra is going to be basically just a leader skill and a better weapon in peril. And then Ash is going to be our tank and our Perfect Dispel. Perfect Dispel is probably one of the most important things here because the boss does buff her resistances pretty often. Okay, so here's what we're going to go. We're going to go for a turn 3 clear because, you know, we're going to use the SLB of Edea. So, on turn 1, we're going to just use our completely and totally naked Ash. Is going to magical cover, we're going to break the boss's magic, and we're going to Shelga. We're going to use the LB of Ibarra in the base form for that katana in peril because we gave Edea a katana. Edea on turn 1 can just guard. We'll do the setup next turn. Melissa is going to go ahead on turn 1. We're going to start the rolling amplify. We're going to use shared immunity for the resistance buff, and we're going to use nothing else really matters. Minutes of might, I guess. Who cares? Okay, so turn 1 is some fire, ice, or lightning magical damage. With our buffs and mitigations, we're taking like literally one damage a hit on our tank. So there we go. Now, here's the catch here. Pretty often, the boss will buff her resistances. We're going to just normal attack Ash to perfect dispel that away. You can use things like Kaito, you can use things like, you know, Venera. There's a whole lot of perfect dispels in the game. Use 1 to get rid of it on turn 2. Now we're going to use Ibarra to go ahead and use a good Dark Imperil. We're also going to use a Lightning Imperil just so we can support chain next turn. And then Wish of Vengeance for the buff. We're going to use Edea to quad cast. We're going to use her to be our Spirit Break. We're only going to have an 85 Spirit Break. That's all we really need. Now, if you bring like a 90% Spirit Break, like Savior Lightning, Louise, stuff like that, obviously damage would be way higher. All we need is 85. So we're going to do that. We're also going to do, just in case you're not using Melissa, we would use the Human Killer buff. There you go. We don't really need that for our team, though. We're going to Astral Void to stop one of the boss's spells, and then we're going to do Last Action of Fantasy Beyond Reimagination for her modifier buff and focus. Now this turn, the boss is going to do some physical damage. Now because we're not evading our tank, we're going to go ahead and use Melissa to imbue the boss with darkness because we're not evading. If you weren't doing a goofy clear like this, you would evade your provoke tank and not care about this turn. We're going to go ahead and do a big human killer on Edea, and doesn't really matter what else we do. We can share immunity again. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Okay, so this turn is going to be some single target physical damage on our provoker, but we went ahead and used a imbue to make the boss absorb it all. That's all physical damage. So just evade your provoker and ignore it. Anyway, now it's time to kill the boss. So what we're going to do, we're going to use Edea to SLB. Her SLB is triple bolting strike. It's slightly offset, but it's still going to work fine. We're going to use Ibarra to just triple bolting strike as well with Darka. We're not using the physical version. We're going to triple Thundara. We already imperiled Thunder last turn. Again, just a support chain, and Melissa will just support chain with triple bolting strike, and all of these are magical attacks. And here we go. So we send our Edea's SLB. We do the support chainers to get over 100 count chain. And there we go. So we need about 4.5 billion to perfect score here. And with our just Edea and some naked units, we did 6.1. We overcapped by about 25% more than we really needed there. So there we go. 2 empty party slots, the most basic of basic units, completely free Edea. She is using good gear. I'll show it to you in a second. Completely naked Ibarra, Ash, and Melissa. There we go. So there is just the core, basic, minimal way to do this fight. So all you need is the free Edea and then some support units, and you're good to go. So here's the team we use. As you can see, naked, naked, and naked for Ash, Ibarra, and Melissa. And then Edea. Edea is very well geared. We are using a double-handed katana. That way we get a better 40% in peril thanks to Ibarra. We're giving her some clash gear, some chain cap up, some gear so she can actually equip more things, and then a good vision card. So we certainly went all out on gearing Edea, don't get me wrong. But she is a free unit. And then Human Killer, maxed out, and maxed LB damage. Okay, so there it is. So add some extra units to those empty party slots. Another great option is Renoa. Use Renoa on turn 1 to use her powered up shifted SLB. I'm sorry, her shifted LB. And then just quad Darkra on turn 2. And that'll be a perfect score. Okay, see you in a bit.